Right, hello guys, you're watching the Geek Somewhat, and today we're talking about Fear of the Walking Dead Series 3, Episode 1 to 5. Yeah, I actually watched this the day after I've just finished Series 2 final, which is a massive improvement because it took me 2 months break in between Series 2 because I just couldn't carry on. Watching Series 3, Episode 1 to 5, it has its good points and it has its bad points, but I feel like we're in the right direction now. It's starting to pick up and it's starting to work a lot better than what it was doing. So, and I don't want to hate this show. I want to enjoy it. I want to force myself into doing reviews just because, you know. But let's get onto the episodes. I'm mixing episode 1 to 5 all in one go. I'll talk about bits I enjoyed, talk about what I didn't. So, obviously Nick and his girl getting injured leads them to a certain place. That dad character and the mom and the daughter, they all get caught in the same place, sort of thing, and they kind of getting tortured with these army people. One of them's with the eye. Later on, the mom does something to that guy's eye. And I knew as soon as he saves her at one point, and then they're in the truck, I was like, yeah, do not trust this guy. And later on, he does threaten her at one point with the knife in episode 5. So it's like, yeah. And he's talked about eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth sort of scenario he said to her before. So I did kind of predict he was going to attack her at one point, or try to. He kind of give up on that idea, so we'll see what happens next, because obviously there's conflict between the two. The daughter, I just feel like she's mentally struggling at this point. She jumps in episode 5 into the water, and she's happy. It makes her forget, and then she realises, the world's still screwed. And I think she's just struggling. So I've got that drift. And then we've got Victor, is it? The guy who owns the boat, who did own the boat. He finds the other guy that was on fire, the old dude, who the house was on fire, sort of thing. Yeah, there's a whole thing going on with that, with the bridge. These people, like, sort of, someone stole the water, and it was a whole big thing for like an episode or so. That kind of, yeah. But then the scene of throwing the people over like this massive cliff sort of thing, was done really well, and the old dude taking them all out and asking for forgiveness, and then him and Victor go off, and he leaves Victor to the guy who owns the boat. I don't know exactly if it's named Victor or not, because it's my first time experiencing this show. The guy who owns the boat gets left, and they've kind of gone different ways now, so that's interesting. And it's like, but you know. And then obviously the family escaping the army place with the zombies starting to attack, and then going off with the army with the helicopter. Some go there, some go on the truck because they didn't have time. And the helicopter, something major happens to them. Now I would have expected something to happen to the people in the car, to be fair, more than what happens in the helicopter. So that was unexpected. The stakes were risen quite a lot more in episode 1 and 2, particularly with the dad, you could say, that figure. He was literally fighting off loads of zombies in the pit. I thought it was really well done. Nick almost gets killed a few times in the beginning, and I'm like, he's one of my favourite characters, please do not. Him and Lucy's kind of got a cool thing, but she's kind of left him at one point between episode 5, so we'll have to see what happens there. And he's getting close to some more of her old dude, but yeah. The mom and daughter are kind of separate at the moment between up to episode 5, because we've got the mom going off with these army people, and they meet with some Indians, and literally they tell them to take off their shoes, they take all their guns, they get ambushed, and it's a problem. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I like the conflict we've had, the scenarios with the people falling from the roof, and then obviously the Indians ambushing. Sorry, something moved in my flat, and I was like, what the hell? But yeah, where was I? It's probably my cats. Anyway, if you do not see me in another video, whatever that was has just come and killed me. But anyway, no. I've liked certain aspects, but I'm still finding aspects of this show boring and a little bit safe. Now, the guy with the brain and the crow eating him, that was gruesome. The eye thing was kind of cool, and the zombie literally breaking and getting the army soldier through the wall and killing him was done really well. So the budget's gone up. And that being said, I think my cats are messing about. I have to leave it be. But yeah, the budget's gone up for the zombies, and that looks good. It looks better. But I do feel like they're not as in the threat as other things lately. And I don't think it's worked quite well for the show, because it doesn't feel like our characters are that in danger. Obviously, the humans are doing more problems than what the zombies are in the main show of The Walking Dead, but I don't know. I feel like the zombies are not used as best to their potential as what the main show does, and I also feel like there's not really an ongoing threat. You know, in the main show we had the Colonel, we had Negan, we had this and that. We've got some people, and we need to find out who blew up the plane. I don't think the dad is dead. They're trying to make out he's gone, he's dead. No, I don't believe it. We haven't really seen his body, so, you know, yeah. That being said, I'm going to see what happens next between episode 6 and onwards for series 3. But I do feel like it's a step up in the right direction. But we've got a long way to go from it being fine to good to amazing. We've got a long distance to go for that. I think this is just borderline hitting the fine mark. So, yeah, probably a generous 5 out of 10 from this yet again. But still, we'll see what happens next. So that's my thoughts and opinions, guys, on episode 1 to 5 of Fear of the Walking Dead. My honest reactions. Join me to continue reviewing series 3 and beyond. We don't just do Walking Dead, of course. We do Marvel, DC, Doctor Who, Rick and Morty, Chucky, Star Wars, you name it. Really, basically for a geek like me. So join and subscribe. I'll see you guys in another video soon. Have a nice day.